The 2023 model season is here, and today we are riding the GASGAS MC450. This is one of the models that has not changed for the new model season. KTM and Husqvarna, they're brand new motorcycles top to bottom. Yamaha, also an all new motorcycle for 2023 with their 450. Honda, they made a few updates. The engine is a little bit different, the intake's a little bit smoother, suspension's a little bit different, so small updates for Honda. But the other motorcycles that did not change are the Suzuki, the Kawasaki, and the GASGAS MC450F. So yes, we know a lot about this motorcycle. A lot of our test riders prefer this motorcycle and have a lot of fun riding it. So we're gonna break apart for you in this video, let you know what we like about it and what we don't like about it and how it handles on the track. The 2023 GASGAS MC450F did not change for the new model season. As I probably mentioned at the top of the video, Honda, it got some small updates. KTM and Husky are brand new chassis, engine, and everything. Yamaha, it's all new for 2023 season. Suzuki, Kawasaki, and GASGAS stayed completely the same this year, and that might be a benefit to GASGAS riders. If you guys watch Supercross and Motocross this year, you know that Cooper Webb and the KTM guys and the Rockstar Husqvarna guys, they had a lot of teething issues, a lot of learning and time to figure out the new chassis, figure out the new engine for the KTM and Husqvarna. And with the current economic marketplace that we're in right now, parts have been hard to get, and it's been taking time for companies to make parts for the new KTM and Huskies, and also to just develop different settings for those bikes and learn those bikes. So the GASGAS MC450, it slides in as the tried and true model. It's the same chassis that KTM had been on for years, the same engine that KTM had for years, the aluminum subframe that KTM had for years, and it is right there, ready to go for the new model season. The differences between this bike and last year's KTM are explained in last year's video, and we'll explain them again this time. It's the triple clamps. It's got forged aluminum triple clamps rather than the CNC machine clamps. The forged clamps definitely give you a little more flex and less precision in the corners. When you're coming into the corners on a KTM or Husky with those CNC machine clamps, it's easier to stick the front end in the corner, and it's more precise. You think about a corner and you go. You think about turning left and you go. With these GASGAS forged aluminum clamps, it's a little more flexible, which makes it more comfortable over bumps, but also not as precise in the corners. Same thing with the suspension settings on the GASGAS 450. This bike is made to be a softer bike, made better for slower level riders, novice riders, vet riders, guys who want comfort and just a plush chassis. That's what the GASGAS is all about, while the KTM and the Huskies are more race focused and a little bit stiffer straight out of the box. So how do those softer suspension settings feel on the track? Well, they are definitely soft. The good thing is that you can up the air pressure in the forks, because these are the WP Exact air forks. That'll give you a little more hold up in the front end. But the shock spring, it's a 42 Newton meter shock, and that is definitely softer, made for guys in the 160 and below range. Guys who are 175 like myself are definitely going to be blowing through that shock. Today, I had a lot of fun riding the GASGAS, but when the bumps got bigger and the ruts got deeper, my forks were diving a lot coming into the corners, and it's something that you definitely have to be mindful of when you're riding a stock GASGAS. If you're the guy who knows that you're gonna get your suspension valved as soon as you pick up your bike, and you know that you have factory edition triple clamps sitting at home, or you have some Luxon triple clamps or some Ride Engineering triple clamps, you basically turn your GASGAS 450 into a KTM 450 right there. The only other difference is this bike does not come stock with a map switch like the KTM and Husky. It is stuck in map 1 for the GASGAS 450. However, the ECU is tuned to have a map switch, so you can buy that in the aftermarket, throw that on there. You can get access to map 1 and map 2 and traction control and launch control on your GASGAS 450. This bike also doesn't come with the hour meter, so a few differences between this bike and the KTM and Huskies, the last year versions of those bikes. The The one thing that was always great about a GASGAS, more affordable to buy a GASGAS, you would still get the great Brumbo brakes, still get the chromoly steel chassis that we love, the frame. You also get the smooth and strong and durable KTM 450 engine, the hydraulic clutch with the steel clutch basket, everything that was kind of the core of a KTM, you would still get that with the GASGAS, just at a lower price point. Now for 2023, KTM and Husky, they upped their prices with their all new chassis and all new bikes. And then the GASGAS, it also got a new big price jump, even though this bike didn't change for the new model season. Last year, it cost $95.99. This year, the GASGAS 450 retails for $10,199, so that's a big jump up in price. In comparison, the KX 450, it is still at $9,599. The Honda 450, still at $9,599. The Yamaha 450 is new, but it is still cheaper than this GASGAS. It's at $9,900, and the KTM 450 for 2023, it is $10,899. So that's the price difference. GASGAS used to be the more affordable brand. For 2023, the bike didn't get any updates, but the price, it did. So I already mentioned the chassis, I already mentioned the suspension and how it's softer, the triple clamps are softer. Overall, that gives you a more comfortable feel on the track. It's nice when the track is really square edged, or you're riding some faster, maybe desert racing or SRA off-road racing here in Southern California. Soft suspension is pretty nice. Our vet test riders love riding this bike. Although I was riding the bike today in this video, you saw me. I'm a pro level rider, but we have a long list of vet riders, more vets than pros in our group, and they all are gravitating to the GASGAS 450 because its suspension is plush and the chassis is just comfortable and easy to ride. For me, talking about the chassis, I've spent a lot of time on the KTM and Husky 2023 models. Those are much stiffer bikes for 2023. They take at least 10 hours to break in. Most riders are very discouraged after a couple hours, and they want to sell their bike because they haven't broke it in yet. If you bought one of those bikes, be patient. Get to the 10-hour mark before you sell your bike, and then ride it and see if it's broken enough to feel more comfortable. This GASGAS 450, although it is brand new, it does not take as much time to break in. It felt super comfortable, super soft, really nice to ride on the track today. As for the engine, has that same KTM 450 engine that KTM has had for a while. Super tractor pulling coming out of the corners, mellow and easy to ride. Not as fast as the new KTM engines. It hits the peak horsepower number at 57.4 horsepower, and it peaks out at 36.5 foot-pounds of torque. This bike is smooth, tractable, and just gets good traction coming out of corners. Easy to ride. It does have the closed off airbox cover in its stock form, and what that does is just kind of detunes this bike. It also doesn't have a resonance chamber on the header pipe, and it has an ice cream cone muffler inside of the muffler on this bike as well. So all those kind of detune it just a little bit off of some of the other models. Long story short, the GASGAS 450 is a great bike in stock form. It is easy to ride. Suspension is plush and comfortable. It has all the great components that you need to go racing at the top level. If you make the suspension stiffer, replace the triple clamps and go for it like that. One thing you should note, if you do buy a GASGAS 450, the spokes will come loose, especially the spoke near the rim lock on the rear wheel. Be sure to keep an eye on those, especially your first couple rides out. Check them after each session. Sometimes if you ride and the spokes come loose and then you get dirt caught in the threads, it makes it really hard to get a good grab for the spoke, and then they'll start coming loose more and more often after that. Also, the sprocket bolts have been known to come loose, so be sure to keep your eyes out for those two items. Spokes and sprocket bolts, if they come loose, that could really end your day and be dangerous, so those are some things that you definitely need to keep an eye out on. Also, the rear brake spring always breaks off on these bikes. For 2023, KTM and Husky updated the rear brake spring, but the GASGAS, obviously it's still the same. I like to get a Honda rear brake spring and put it on my GASGAS. Solves all the issues, very durable, and just you don't have to worry about it after that. Also, this bike comes with a Maxxis Cross MX ST tires. They're not quite as precise as the Dunlop MX33 tires. They're not as durable either, so those are a couple things that'll play into factor if you ride this bike straight off the showroom floor. Another thing to note, it has the WP Exact air air forks, and your air in your forks is your spring rate. So to figure out what air pressure you need to run, put a zip tie on the fork leg, go out and ride at the stock pressure, and you want that zip tie to be within 1.5 inches from bottoming out. If it's bottoming out, you need more air. If you're 2 inches, 3 inches, or 4 inches from bottoming, you need less air. That's your spring rate, and aim for that 1.5 inch mark, and that's where you'll find your sweet spot on the forks. We also like to run the sag at 105 on this bike, and we love the aesthetics of the GASGAS 450. We love the red frame, we love the all red plastics, red seat, the silver handlebars, silver forged aluminum triple clamps, and the silver wheels all look super trick on the GASGAS 450. So long story short, MXA Wrecking Crew, we know a lot about this bike. If you want to know more about it, check out our 2022 GASGAS 450 test on our website, motocrossactionmag.com. Also, check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more tested videos on other 450 models for 2023. We've got a lot more testing to do with the new Yamaha, a new KTM Husky, updated Honda on the lineup. Stay tuned for our 2023 450 shootout coming soon. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.